Oh, hi. Didn't notice you there. My name is Guillermo Ruiz, and I am 15 years old. I was baptized and confirmed at Trinity Lutheran Church in Alameda, California, where I am still a member, as most of you probably already know. I recently gave a faith testimony at the Synod Assembly in Sacramento. I heard really good reviews about it, and I was told that I should share it with you all as a congregation in the form of a sermon. I'm here to tell you a little bit about my faith journey and how it has been supported through my activities with the Synod. During my younger years, like most of us, I went to church, youth group, and Sunday school. Not because I wanted to, but because my mother wanted me to. Church stuff for me was always a chore. It was an obligation to my mother. And I really didn't know what I was doing at church. I was constantly lost and experienced a lot of confusion about my faith and what being a Christian truly meant. Another point of confusion for me came through the media, and I think it's pretty fair to say that we, as Christians, do not get a good reputation in the media. And I especially didn't like the image I saw personally through the news stories of Christians, whether it was the Christians who were protesting gay rights or the Christians who were outside abortion clinics. If I knew one thing, it was that I didn't want to be like those people. But, of course, I also saw all of you wonderful, kind-hearted people, and I really didn't know how to reconcile the two. I became very self-conscious about my faith, and I was very awkward, and I really didn't share the fact that I went to church with anybody outside of my family. It was a very private matter for me. It really just got to the point where I stopped believing in God completely. But the turning point for me came when I joined the Sierra Pacific Synod Youth Committee, or SPISIC for short, about 2 years ago. Members on this committee are responsible for taking a leadership role in the Synod, but we mostly just organize weekend youth retreats for different aged youth throughout the Synod. Being on SPISIC completely changed my faith life. Here on SPISIC, I was surrounded by like-minded youth who were fun, intelligent, and most importantly, just normal teenagers who knew what it felt like to be in a society that sometimes didn't take kindly to people who were of faith. But the most important thing that I've learned when I'm being on SPISIC is that God comes to me through other people, and sometimes in ways that I don't expect. The first thing that I remember noticing is that some of the kids I worked with were kind of weirdos, or the oddballs. They were socially awkward and probably had a hard time socially at their own schools. But here, during these weekend retreats, in a community of other kids who are of faith, they were happy and, most importantly, accepting. It made me feel good to give these kids an opportunity to relax and have fun. It occurred to me that this might be the Spirit of God working with us. I started to feel good about my work, and that what I was doing was something special. I started paying more attention to people that I might have otherwise have ignored and been insensitive to. This also goes to kids that were younger than me. I supposed I used to think that they were too young or stupid to have anything interesting to say. This really started to make sense to me during our last retreat just a few months ago. This retreat was with 3rd through 6th graders, so naturally it was a handful to try to contain these kids. I woke up Saturday morning, the day after the campers arrived, feeling worn out, and I felt like I used all of my energy on Friday night when the day the campers arrived. It took a special will for me to get out of bed that day. And when it came time to mid-afternoon, when I was supposed to lead a workshop with these kids, I essentially told my other workshop members that I was too tired to speak, so I kind of asked them to cover for me. graciously they did. In this workshop, we led the kids on a silent walk through the woods and asked them to listen for God. After the workshop, I lazily asked the kids, "Where did you seek God?" Not truly expecting them to say anything special. But what I heard truly amazed me. I heard these kids, just small third graders, giving these deep philosophical answers that made me think, but most importantly, they were unique to them as kids. For instance, one kid I heard said, "I hear God in the sounds of the stream, which is like the flowing water of life and reminded me of my baptism." I was truly amazed. Here, in my faith journey, is where I truly saw God speaking to me through these kids, who just like me, probably felt awkward about their faith and were shy and didn't want the whole world to know about their faith. Yet here, at this weekend youth camp, they felt safe and were free to express themselves to the world and share themselves with other youth, just like me. So I want to say thank you to this entire congregation for personally supporting me through my activities in the student synod and my activities in youth group. And thank you.